I am Sarah. I read as Sora the Intuitive for Sky Messages by Sora. I am a tarot reader who specializes in past life readings. I also teach and mentor the tarot. I have two journals, one for learning the tarot and one for more learning yourself and deepening the connection with your deck. That one's a collaboration with Killer Pancake, who makes a couple of the decks I'll be reviewing. The reason I started this channel, and specifically this series, the tarot review series, is that I really want people to be able to have a connection. I want anyone who wants to do the tarot to be able to learn it. And a lot of times people get really frustrated because the first deck that they start using, they don't really connect with. And so I'm hoping that instead of getting frustrated or spending a lot of money on decks that they then realize they don't want, people can sort of start to learn what their style is, what theme they're looking for, what kind of imagery works for them, and help people find the right decks for them. I do believe that if there is a tarot deck out there, there is an audience for it. And if there is somebody who wants to learn, then there's definitely a deck for them. So this won't have star ratings. This won't be about what's good and bad. It'll be about the details, such as the guidebook, a level that it's good for, like basic to advanced. It will be, how close it is to the Rider-Waite or the Tarot de Marseille, or the Thoth for those who prefer that. And it will just give people a look and hopefully help them start to begin their journey. Or for those of us who have been on their journey for a while, but are thinking about new decks and testing out different things, give them a preview. So there are some of the decks behind me, but if there are any you're interested in, let me know, and let's get started. For this week's review, we are looking at the Tarot of the Divine. This is a deck that they say is inspired by deities, folklore, and fairy tales from all around the world, and so you see it's another collection type of deck, and it is really beautiful. They have all different stories from all different cultures. So starting with the box, it is nice and sturdy, and it is nested. These are great if this were to be a deck that I used a lot. I would probably throw it in a wrap just because this does open fairly easily, but it is nice and nestled, and it's good. The illustration on the front. The guidebook is wonderful. It gives kind of a breakdown of the basics. So it talks about the suits, it talks about the numbers, but then also goes into, the meanings for each card, as well as the story of which deity, folktale, or fairy tale that they used, and why, which is pretty cool. It has a few spreads, ranging from 1 to 3 to 5 cards, which is really nice. So it's a good range, whether you're a beginner or more intermediate or more professional. It's got some options. So you see the illustrations are really bright and colorful and beautiful. The court cards are the same as what people are generally used to, with the page, the knight, the queens, and the kings. The suits are the same. They go with the coins, but coins and pentacles are both traditional, so I'd say it's, what we tend to be used to. It is a Rider-Waite-Smith based deck, and does pretty well of working the illustrations so that you can see that sort of imagery. You see the moon is the one from the box, but you see there's the 8 of Cups, and you have the person walking away from the 8 Cups. So it does stick very well to the Rider-Waite imagery. who this is good for is anyone who's interested in fairy tales, mythology, learning about different cultures, anyone drawn to the images, which are really a lot of fun. People who read with the Rider-Waite. I would say it's a pretty good deck for beginners. There may be some confusion if you were to go to another deck after this, but especially if you have been learning on a Rider-Waite style deck, it should be really great for anyone there. It is really gorgeous, and it's really nice that it has the references as to which story they are looking at, so you can go in and learn more. I really like, with decks like this, to get to know the stories behind the cards, because I find that that really adds to your understanding, especially if you are an intuitive reader. But also, if you are learning, the more you understand the story, the easier it is to understand the meanings of the cards. So you can get a lot deeper with this sort of thing, especially as it is really well done. So I'm really enjoying it. I'm borrowing it, but I may end up getting my own as well, because this is a really fun one to read with. I've been doing a lot of readings for myself with it, and some on like TikTok. These are really beautiful images. And you can see there's a cohesive color scheme for the deck, but there's not like an inherent one to the suits, which I like. I know it's harder sometimes for people who are learning, but I actually really like it, because I think when the colors come in to tell the story, it gives a nice cohesive experience. So just a little match girl. So I really love that. Now I am going to go into our reading for the week. As I am shuffling, I'm going to thank you for liking, subscribing. At this time, the Kickstarter has been funded. It's actually been funded for a couple of weeks now. There's another week left to to go ahead in and pre-order, because we've done so well. Genevieve was able to look at the stretch goal and get some idea as to what can be done there, so that's kind of exciting. But I really just wanted to thank everybody for that. If you like these videos, they're on the Patreon 2 days early. If you are looking for a reading, you can head over to the website. If you don't see days or times that work for you, or if you are going to be in Pittsburgh and would rather have an in-person reading, please contact me. I can send you where I'm going to be, or we can work out a better time or date. So we are starting with Temperance. Temperance is very much a go with the flow kind of card. It is the card of moderation, but that sort of moderation balance, you are urged to not make it like a third extreme. It's not about being exactly in the middle so much as finding what works for you. It's also a card of alchemy in that same way, in that you don't need to just avoid things if they don't work the first time. You are to keep experimenting, keep practicing, and figure out where the balance is for you, and keep learning. We have that with the Six of Wands. I love that after the idea of that alchemy and finding the right balance for you, because the Six of Wands is a card of celebration and being celebrated. It's kind of one of the 15 minutes of fame kind of cards. So it's like once you've got into that groove, people are going to start noticing. This can be stuff at work too, but if it is something like a promotion, it is not going to be something just quiet. It is going to come with an announcement or something. With the Six of Wands, it is never just one person paying attention to you. And then we have that with the Four of Coins, which would indicate that that celebration also comes with some sort of reward. The Four of Coins is a card of conservation, and it reminds you to make sure you have things both coming in and out. This doesn't have to be just money. This can be time, energy. The coins are the building blocks of life. They are what you need to get what you want. So this can be an influx of money or also responsibility. And it does remind you that you will still need to take some time for yourself. But have a wonderful time working through that balance and getting that recognition. And then just make sure that you don't let it take away or become your entire self, your entire identity, or your entire, week. Good luck.